everyone, this is Anurag Jain and welcome to my channel The Goat. In this video today, we are going to see how you can get started with your own professional blog in a few cents. And this is something I'm going to do with the help of Cloudflare DNS, GitHub Pages, and a domain that I purchased from Ionos. You can purchase it from your favorite provider. So as you see in today's agenda, we will see how you can get the domain. You can change the name servers of the DNS to Cloudflare DNS servers. You can host your file on GitHub, and then you can point your domain to the GitHub pages. So that's the agenda, and let's get started. So as I said earlier, I'm using Ionos for booking the domain, but you can use your favorite domain provider for the same. So as you can see, if I go ahead and check the availability of this domain and the price, it will show me the pricing in Canadian dollars, but depending upon your location, you will see the prices accordingly. So I'm getting this particular domain name for 75 cents for the first year. The renewal is costly, but then, to get started, it's a pretty cheap price. So I have a domain name already purchased that I'm going to use. So the domain name is associated with this particular channel itself, thegoat.info. And I'm going to update the information or this particular domain to point to the DNS service provided by Cloudflare. And why I'm doing this, because if I go for the hosting service from Ionos itself or some other provider, that's going to cost me a lot of money, and even for SSL certificates I need to pay a lot. But if I use the free service of Cloudflare and I use GitHub for the hosting of my web pages, then it's pretty much free. Okay, to get started, I'm going to start with adding my domain information here so that I get the required name server information. So I'm going to add this and I'm going to continue with this. And I'm going to continue with the free version. It does provide me SSL certificate and it does provide me whatever I'm looking for. So once you add your domain name to Cloudflare, it should provide you information related to what you need to put in so that you can make sure that your domain is pointing to Cloudflare. So if I continue, it will provide me the information that it has scanned my existing domain and it has provided me what it should be. So I'm going to my domain provider and I'm going to update the name servers accordingly. So I'm going for the custom name servers here. So the first name server is as provided by Cloudflare, and similarly the second name server which is provided by Cloudflare, and I press save. So the DNS propagation, the name server propagation, it does take some time. So I'm going to pause the video till then. So as we can see that the domain name servers have been applied on my domain service provider. And if I head back to my Cloudflare account, I can see that this information has been activated. So the next thing will be to actually point my domain name to the GitHub web pages so that I can, once I upload the website on my GitHub pages, we should be able to host the same via our own domain name. So when I head back to my GitHub account and if I create a new repository, let me call it egoat.info, and I'm keeping other things as is. And let me create a repository with an readme file. And as you can see, this particular repository has been created. The next thing will be to enable the GitHub pages on this repository. So if I go to the settings and pages, and if I deploy it from branch, that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use the main branch itself, but instead of the root directory, I'm going to render the pages through the docs directory. So when I press save here, so it will create or it will enable the GitHub pages here. The next thing will be to, and before doing it, let me show you how you can configure the DNS to talk to GitHub pages. So when I go to the help page from GitHub docs, then it shows me the information what I need to add in my DNS provider information, so that I can point my domain to talk to GitHub Pages. And as you can see, the information that I need to add is the A records, the AAA records, and some CNAME information. So let me go back here and add some A records here. So I'm going to add an A record with say. Similarly, we are going to add all the AAA records for IPv6 domains. And we have to repeat this step for all the 4 IP addresses that have been provided to us by GitHub. And the last one. And I believe there is another. Okay, with this, let me go back to my GitHub pages. And if I go here, or rather here, so on my GitHub pages, let me try to add this domain name and save this. It will do a DNS check. It will ensure that all the required DNS information is added to the domain name, so that it can bind to my GitHub pages. So as we can see, the DNS check is successful. So if I go back to my repository and I'm going to go to the docs, and this time I'm going to make it index.md, and let's call it homepage. Let me go here. We should have the action triggered to create this website, and we have to wait for a bit so that the GitHub pages actions is completed. As you can see in the actions, the deployment, the building of the page is happening right now. And once this particular step is completed, we should be able to see our page running on GitHub pages. You can go in and check the status. It looks to be completed now. And if I head back to my pages, it should tell me, yeah, okay. So let me just refresh this page. And as you can see, the domain name is now pointing to a website which is hosting on GitHub pages. And in the next video, I'm going to actually install a block through Hugo, which is a free block provider. So I'm going to install one over there, and we will then deploy that block on GitHub pages and render that through the GitHub pages. So thank you for watching this video, and till the next video, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in through the comments. Thank you.